through that.
That's true. I'm not on the same screen. Welcome to the Evilive, the live media commentary show that answers the question: did Patton Oswalt deserve his fate?
Yes, I think so. Maybe.
Subscribe if you're new to the channel, because today we are reviewing What We Do in the Shadows, Season 5, Episode 10, the finale exit interview, which is a great
I was
moment.
telling you earlier, but yeah, I was fucking surprised because I did not know that they were going to drop the last 2 episodes like side by side. So, of course, you know, I'm one of those fucking losers that likes to watch the credits just because, I mean, that's a part of the show. That's a part of the movie. I will sit through all of them. So, my surprise, on the play next, it's episode 10. I'm like, what the fuck? I look over at my wife. I'm like, God, did we miss a week? She's like, no, dummy, you record every week about it. I was like, that's right. Fuck, I didn't know they were going to drop 2 at once.
That's right, I am a dummy.
Yes, that I was agreeing that I was a dumbass. Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts of this finale?
So, and I don't want to jinx anything by saying this shit, but if this is how the series ended, this was a great finale. Season, definitely, like, perfect way to end it, especially because it's so fucking stupid and unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it was great. I loved it.
Yeah. I didn't so much love it as much as that, but I did enjoy it, I'll say. I did feel like Nandor was a little quick on his 180. Personally.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know, man. Like, his friendship with the late, great Patton Oswalt. I mean, that you learn a lot when you lose somebody you're so close to.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you're the one that murders them, that's of no consequence.
Your Panera Bread buddy.
Oh, that joke, man, that was the best. Just, you know, are you sure it's this Panera Bread?
Yeah.
What?
What do you mean?
There's others,
Panera.
right? Fuck.
I mean, we've been taught that he's so stupid that we can believe that would be a mistake that he would actually make. Which just makes it funny.
Yeah.
This was directed by Tig Fong. The written credits on this are insane. It's Jake Bender, Zach Dunn, Sam Johnson, Sarah Naftalis, and Paul Sims, and A Partridge in a Pear Tree.
Right.
It premiered, of course, as the sequel on August 31, both back-to-back episodes 9 and 10. And boy, did they go out with some fun. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff in this episode.
There really is. So, I mean, of course, you know, one story, you got the plight of Nandor, where he's just brooding and just like, he's basically thinking he's Spawn over New York City.
Yeah.
But he's waiting for Guillermo to fuck up and come out of Panera Bread, because that's his one true hiding place is Panera Bread. He can't live without it or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, God, that shit's just so fun. You know what? Come to think of it, the whole joke behind the Panera Bread is that he's a manager there, but it's the one by the train station. Why wouldn't he go to the one by the train station?
Because he's Nandor, man.
That's true.
He sees this flashy light and he's like, squirrel. Like, he doesn't fucking think.
That's
It's
true.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was so fucking funny.
It's amazing. So I loved the fact that we ended last episode with him furious and trying to kill, murder, as everyone has been saying Nandor would do. But we were all like, man, would he really? Yeah. And so, yeah, we're like, oh, shit, he really is relentless. Like, he's going to fucking find this dude and kill him. And I love this Spawn analogy. I never even thought of that. This actually has infinitely better graphics than Spawn ever did in a movie form.
Yeah.
Even with the Colin Robinson head not quite lining up with the kid's body, the graphics are still better.
Yeah,
than Spawn.
Way better and way more excusable. And it's so funny because that was like top of the line, won really dozens of awards because that was advanced back then.
I thought it was amazing.
It's almost a perfect parallel to the Frighteners versus the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, man.
Like how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the setup was wonderful. Guillermo's in hiding at this hotel. No one knows where he is except everyone.
Yeah,
fucking
except
knows
everybody.
where he is.
Yeah.
And just one-on-one people start coming to the door and like basically just telling him goodbye. Like that's really what it comes down to. I think Nadja, is she the first one that comes through?
No, it was Colin Robinson because he was doing the exit interview, I thought.
He was the first one? I thought he was near the end. Well, in any case, Colin Robinson's was the most memorable because of the exit interview. I thought it was hilarious. It was like, so just tell us, what was the experience like for you? And he's like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm going to die here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. So it goes Nadja, then, holy shit, Laszlo. Sorry, had a complete brain fart.
Was Derek before Laszlo?
Well, yeah, because Derek's staying with him.
Right.
So Derek shows up, comes back with the cooked sandwich. Guillermo throws a fit because it's supposed to be raw meat.
Enough, yeah.
So he sends him off. And then that's when Nadja comes in and she's like, look, man, I get it. He's an idiot, but you need to fucking chill. He's your maker. Yeah. So you need to show him some more respect.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
I love that part of the lore that they maintain. They had some really sort of silly... I mean, it's silly. Like, I know that like the vampires in some Asian cultures, the rice thing was a real thing. Like that was, sort of a silly thing. It's new to me as Western fucking understanding of vampires and stuff. But I love that they always continuously build on this sort of mythos of what it means to be a vampire and the sort of tropes. And so I love the idea that they maintain the idea that that if your sire dies, then you are going to die too.
Yeah.
It's very like a werewolf thing almost. Like I didn't know that was a vampire thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in a lot of different mythologies for vampires. That's pretty much solid. That's why the whole idea of, Baron Afanad dying was so scary for everybody.
Yeah. And I love the idea that if Guillermo knew that, Chris, he would have chose the stronger person. What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so Chris was asking if there was a 6th season still coming. Yes. It's going to be very delayed because of course, all the strikes going on. But they're still slated for a 6th season.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, it ended fine, in my opinion.
If Archer is still going, this has to still be going.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Archer should have ended a long time
I thought they've
ago.
had the last season for like the past 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I swear they've been like, oh, this is the last season of Archer for like the last 3 fucking seasons.
Well, God, it was over before Vice happened. And then Vice happened and it just kept going. Like anytime there's a new season of Archer, I'm like, really? I'll watch it, but it's like, huh.
Yeah, we stopped watching after like season 5 or something like that, but I don't know. I do enjoy it, but it's just like I'm kind of done. But my point of all that is just like this can keep going. It's just a fun hangout fucking show. It's just great. It's good times. So I love the dynamic with Derek. Like Guillermo would have definitely chosen a stronger vampire had he understood that fact alone. Like Derek's probably arguably the worst vampire to ever make someone else a vampire.
Yeah. He's probably one of the worst vampires ever, period.
Biggest fucking nerd ever. And I remember like we were talking like, what do we want to see in other seasons? And I can't remember what the context was, but it was like, I want that warlock back. And I can't remember what the context was we were talking about that warlock.
Yeah,
but I'm so happy that it came back in this episode.
Yeah, and then the still like disdain that Laszlo has for him. Because Laszlo's a man of science. And it's like, but you go to this warlock because he's effective. His magic is real and it works.
Fucking scats the whole goddamn. It's so amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I think it's so fucking funny. And then we saw fucking the zombie guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Oh God, I gotta look.
Written down.
Topher.
Yeah.
Fucking Topher.
Yeah.
Topher.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm fucking with you guys. Oh, God, that was so funny.
It was amazing. So ultimately, I mean, we're getting to the point where Nandor realizes through the loss of Patton Oswalt, who he kicked off the fucking roof and killed, that he needs to learn to appreciate his friends while they're around. And maybe he shouldn't kill fucking Guillermo because they're friends. Like, they're just fucking friends. And that's what bothered me the most, is that you live 1,000 years, 500 years as a vampire. your humanity leaks out. This is why I loved. I'm diverging here just for a second. This is why I loved the Last Voyage of the Demeter. The idea of what a vampire is that you're going to have brief sentient moments of humanity through your actions, but you have turned into a carnivorous hunter. Like your sole entire experience is feeding to survive. Mm-hmm. You're a monster. These versions of vampires are like slapstick idiots. Mm-hmm. Like they're not real, like scary vampires, even though they can be scary, you know, in certain situations. And that's kind of what bothers me a little bit, is because Nandor is sort of showcased to be like this big monstrosity of he is relentless. He does not relent. He is a conqueror. He subjugates everyone. And then he's just like, I lost one guy. Maybe I should forgive. What? You're fucking Nandor the Relentless, man. Like, I don't want to see Guillermo die. I don't want to see Nandor die. But to switch like that? Because of Patton fucking Oswalt?
I mean, it was pretty traumatic, man. They were close. They were really close.
Patton Oswalt was dropping, like, Silent Bob bombs of wisdom. It was just ridiculous shit. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was too quick. It was too sudden, and I didn't really. I don't know. I wanted the season to end with the feud still on.
I thought I did great. Too originally, but I liked the way it ended. And the thing is, it makes sense with the mythology of the vampires from the movie, because I mean, look at fucking Peter. Mm-hmm. Peter's a fucking monster, like just. Like the epitome of a scary ass fucking vampire, but it just kind of hangs out now. And it's like that's that kind of like they're all sort of just meh. Yeah. We're big bad evil monsters, but I also like to be comfortable. So yeah, I bought him switching like that, because especially like the relationship that they have. Because Nandor sees the way that he acts towards Guillermo in a completely different light than the rest of us do. Mm-hmm. Like, he really does think he is the best master Guillermo could ever possibly hope for. And he does everything with love and compassion, all that shit. Now, of course, that's not what we see, but that's Nandor's way of thinking. So with that in mind, I didn't have a hard time accepting that he did have a switch like that, and immediately was like, okay, whatever. I love Guillermo. I don't want to kill him. Mm-hmm. So much though that he figures out a way to give Guillermo what he wants one way or the other.
Yeah. You know, I just realized there was an excerpt of this season that had David Cross as a vampire with a bunch of other vampires that I saw on YouTube, and they were all like, Nandor was supposed to have been dead. And so they went to his coffin where he was acting dead, and David Cross's vampire character was like, he's acting like this old Jewish vampire or something. He's like, I think we should see his schmeckle. I heard he has an impressive schmeckle. And so they all convince themselves to see his dick, and they all look at it. Like, this is on, like, it was never in this season.
No, that was last season.
That was the show. That was a scene from last season?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, you just need to go back to last season.
God damn it. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's something that did happen. It was towards the end of the season, because Nandor was like, I'm going to go to my, what did he call it? Super slumber or some shit like that, mm-hmm. where he was going to, you know, essentially go to sleep for 100 years, 500 years, something like that. So that's something that already happened.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck it. Right. What the fuck do I know? I was the whole time I was like, wait a second. All right.
That would have been funny though to see that again for no fucking reason at all.
Fuck me. All right. So yeah, ultimately Derek gets fucking killed, mm-hmm. which means that Guillermo's gonna die. Like, I don't know how that exactly works. Is it like a time delay, or like he got stuck?
Well, no. So
with a stake.
The reason Guillermo didn't die is he didn't fully turn. Because yes, he did have human blood, but he hadn't killed a human yet. Right. And I think that's the final thing to complete his transformation. Yeah. So once Derek was killed, that only killed the vampire part of Guillermo. But because of the fact that Guillermo's got the Van Helsing blood, that DNA is strong enough to basically come in and pick up the place.
So I love seeing Derek go be saved and taken mm-hmm. off to his sort of fate, as it were.
Yeah, because he looked happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as long as he has friends, he's a good, he's happy. Yeah. He was working a fucking gas station. Like, fuck that. And then Guillermo is given this sort of like, you'll be a vampire through this ritual situation. And it's really just a question of, do you actually want to be a vampire? And Nandor's like, you don't want to be a fucking vampire. That's why I did never turn you into one. Like, it's not what you actually want. And I was stunned that he didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not surprised in hindsight, but yeah, it was pretty goddamn like, there's one of two ways this is going to go. And either one wouldn't surprise me.
I was genuinely surprised. Our first introduction is showing like photographs of him as a little kid dressed up like a vampire. He wants to be like the fucking Antonio Banderas' character in Interview with a Vampire. I can't remember his fucking name for the life of me. I always forget his name. What is his name?
Jesus Christ, why did I forget that?
It doesn't matter. Anyway, he wanted to be fucking that dude. Like, he's always wanted to be a vampire. He suffered for years as a familiar in order to be a vampire. And as soon as he becomes one, he's like, nah, I don't really want to be one. What? You knew this was part of it. Armand.
Yes. God damn it.
You knew that killing people was a part of it because you've cleaned up corpses. How can you be shy to kill corpses when you've been cleaning up blood and corpse meat your whole fucking existence as a familiar?
Yeah. Well, and that's a funny part too. Like in his monologue where he's talking about, I don't think I can do it. Even though I killed all these vampires and accidentally killed the people that came in and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you've murdered so many different beings that drinking the blood of one person that's going to die anyways, like that's what fucks you up.
Yeah. And that's literally funny. The only qualification to be a vampire is to fucking feed. Yeah. And you're like, well, I can't do it, man. You didn't know that beforehand? 8 years ago or however long you've been a fucking familiar?
I think they said 13.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. Like, it made me not like Gizmo.
That's funny.
And the thing is, like, this whole season, this whole series, I've been championing Gizmo to be a vampire. And as soon as he becomes one, I was like, ooh, this is great, complex, dynamic. What the hell's going to happen? Right. And then at the end for him to be like, meh. What the fuck have we been doing? For 5 seasons? What the fuck have we been doing, dude? Like, really?
See, the thing that I wonder is what's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Because the whole purpose of a familiar, in a familiar's mind, is to ultimately become a vampire. That's why you subjugate yourself to that individual's, every whim. Because at some point, you're going to catch that dangling carrot and you're going to become a vampire. And it's like he actively and intentionally gave up what he's been searching for almost 2 decades. What's going to keep him around? Like, what's going to be the motivation? Is it just Stockholm's? Is it the fact that's what he's used to? And he has a pretty good gig, admittedly. But what's the point? So I'm really interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, what's the dynamic going to be like? Because there's no possible way he's going to go back to his familiar. If he does, I'm going to be pissed. But if he goes back to his familiar ways, like he's a fucking hunter. He's a vampire killer. We've already established this. If he's not going to be a vampire, then he has to at least adopt his role. And if he's just going to protect them, then he's definitely not going to be a subservient familiar anymore. Like it's interesting the choices they're going to have to sort of rack their brains around and present to us.
Yeah.
Because it has to be completely different now. Do you think in the vacuum of him being a familiar, they would accept the guide if she takes care of them? Because clearly someone has to take care of them. We've seen what happens when someone doesn't.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think she would necessarily take his place, like at least in their minds. Because yes, Guillermo is a lower being, but he's useful. With her, she's a lower being, but not useful in their opinions. So I don't know if it would be the same kind of dynamic if he was to leave and she was to essentially take over his spot.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting where they go from here. All right. So what was your favorite part of this episode?
Fuck. So, I mean, now that I know there were so many fucking writers, because I wasn't paying attention to that shit when I first watched the episode, I love the fact that it was essentially an anthology, like each vampire coming to say their goodbyes. I absolutely love that because I'm a sucker for anthologies. If I was to pinpoint one specific thing that I loved, it was Guillermo's mom almost getting Nandor. Like he was gonna die, and then that be hypnotized by Guillermo. That was
pretty awesome.
Boss.
It worked. I can't believe it worked.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, which is actually kind of mind blowing. Like, I wonder what kind of vampire he would be like if he had actually fully turned, because the whole reason why he couldn't be hypnotized is because of the Van Helsing DNA and also the fact that he's so used to it. But yet his mom, who is more of Van Helsing than him, like that hypnotized her. So it's like I would have loved to have seen how powerful he'd become.
He would have been badass. Just seeing him sort of embracing after drinking that blood and like the sort of power that he was sort of exhibiting. I thought it was great. I was 100% on board and thinking he was going to be a full vampire the whole time. I was stunned when he rejected it.
Yeah.
Just stunned.
So the other thing was the fact that the ritual is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like at the very end when Burnoff and Nod's like, oh, I love the symbols. Where did you get it? He's like, I just saw them somewhere and thought they were cool. So I put them up because I figured we needed something there.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fantastic.
But that's a callback to the very first season where he's like, we need to get creepy paper.
Yeah.
Creepy paper. Like, nothing means anything. And if you've ever been a part of any sort of like occultish group, you know it's all bullshit. It's all fucking window dressing. I mean, it's all fucking Halloween cosplay. But that's kind of part of the fun of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I totally connected with that aspect of it, too. I think my favorite part was that exit interview. Just the sort of banality of Colin Robinson coming in. And I can't tell if he was fucking with him or if he was genuinely interested in getting some sort of weird, familiar data. Because it seems like something that he would probably collect, but I don't know. Like, I just loved that whole dynamic. It was great.
That's definitely part of the strength of that character. It's like you never truly know if he's just feeding or if he's legit doing research.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
I have grown to love Colin Robinson so much over the course of this show's lifespan thus far.
Yeah, definitely.
He's just amazing. What was this? They gave a clue to this episode plot when Guillermo said that at the end of season 4, nothing ever changes around here. Yeah, I mean, that's a stretch. That's a very flippant phrase to then extrapolate to all outcomes, you know?
Yeah, it's because, I mean, ultimately things have changed because even if they try to keep the same dynamic, he knows what that power is.
Yeah.
And
he's tasted
even if it's just him in the future seasons, almost having that internal struggle of, I had it and lost it. Do I really want this back or do I not? Like, that's not going to be the same. Like, he is definitely going to be a changed person for this. Like, everybody's going to be, well, okay, that's a lie. Nandor and Guillermo are going to be changed people for this.
Yeah.
Guillermo's dynamic with his family is definitely going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think anybody else is going to give a shit. I mean, definitely the guide, now that everything's on the table, she may or may not be a part of them. We'll see. But yeah it's like
I feel
everything's going to change. Yeah, I hope she is. I fucking love her in this shit.
Especially after that. She exhibited her power. She's flexed. And she actually contained all of them because she's smart enough. And I just think she's an amazing character. And not to mention, she goes to take care of stray humans.
Yeah.
I mean, mad respect.
I fucking love that character so much.
She's so fucking funny. All right. Yeah, I mean, my favorite part was definitely that exit interview. Did you have a least favorite part of this particular episode?
Not really. I mean, knowing that it's the end of the season and knowing everything that's going on at this point, it's, it sucks because it's going to be probably about a year, if not 2 years before we get another season. Yeah. Like more than likely 2 years. And that's devastating. I mean, it's great because we still have 5 seasons that I'm going to inevitably rewatch start to finish, but I want a new season.
Yeah. What bothers me is that these goddamn CEOs are making billions of dollars and they can't throw a couple fucking million at the actual people who create the shows that they reap the rewards from. Like, what the fuck, SAG? Like, they give all of these writers and actors all of the money that they ask for because you can afford it. You don't need billions of dollars, fucking assholes. Like, what the fuck is going on with the greed of this goddamn universe we live in?
Well, and the biggest problem with all of it is it's not unreasonable. Like all the people that are fighting over this shit, because I mean, ultimately it started with the Writers Guild. Yeah. They were striking because they want to be paid for the work that they do. Yeah. Most people only get paid for one aspect of it, and it's not even enough to make a fucking living. That people that 40 years ago would write one thing and have a fucking mansion in Hollywood and live off of that one thing for the rest of their lives, they're working at Target in between writing movies that we love. Like, there's no money in it. It's fucking frustrating, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, especially when people are making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind, the greed in our fucking species. I get you want to anyway, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's going to be
pay the writers so we can enjoy our fucking lives a little bit more. Like, fuck.
Yeah, like they literally make life so much better.
Yeah.
They make life in some cases worth living. So just give them some fucking money.
Yeah.
Let them at least keep their insurance, for Christ's sakes.
Of all the fucking shitty things. And if that's not one good, solid goddamn reason to have universal health care, I don't know what the fuck is.
Right.
Like the fact that you have to literally strike.
You fucking communist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
All right. Well, anything else you wanted to cover with this episode? Because we're really talking about it still.
No, I can't think of anything. Yeah, Chris, and that's part of the problem too, is the residuals. But I mean, that's more so for like the actors and stuff, and that's all on the streaming end. That's the big issue. But again, like there's much smarter people in the brunt of this shit. That if you guys are actually interested in it, look it up. Like it's a serious fucking problem, and it needs to be resolved.
Yeah, I hate it when people are flippant about individuals in industries that they're not connected to, and they say how they're being selfish or they're being ridiculous about striking.
Right. It's like you go to your job and not get paid.
Yeah.
And then tell me how fair that is. Like,
exactly.
Fuck you.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Let us know what you thought about this season of What We Do in the Shadows. Did it live up to your expectations based on previous seasons? Do you like vampire comedy fiction? What is your favorite episode from whatever season thus far? Let us know in the comments below. We really appreciate your time and attention. As always, remember that evil spelled backwards is live. So get out there and be evil.
Hell yeah. And enjoy some Panera bread.
Panera bread. You will return to Panera bread. So funny. Are you sure you have the right one? Oh, shit.